They say some names are just branding, but this one carries a story older than steel.
Anubis, guardian of the dead, protector of transition. Bastet, goddess of protection and balance. Djed, the pillar of strength that held the heavens themselves.
Now reborn in steel and cable, these same symbols of power anchor Mikolo's newest creation, the Anubis 2.0 Ultimate.
Before we lift, some pronunciations. It's Mikolo, Anubis, Bastet, and Djed.
If you've noticed, we've given you more than nuts, bolts, and specs here. We're showing you what it feels like to live with this gear.
So if you like reviews that blend story and substance, go ahead and subscribe, because this is just the first chapter in Mikolo's pantheon of strength.
All right, so first impressions. It has smooth black finished uprights, flat black cross members, mirrored branded accents up on top. It looks sharp. It's a statement piece in any space. Now for planning your setup, it's 91.5 inches tall, 79 inches wide, 70 inches deep, including the footplate and pulleys. You want about an 8-foot ceiling. It's not tiny, but it's far from a commercial monster. It's 12 gauge steel rather than 11, but it still feels solid. It's a smart cost savings that shows up in the final price tag without the rack feeling light. Part of that is thanks to the dual 175-pound weight stacks anchoring it down. This rack isn't going anywhere. The push pins for the sandwich cups are a bit undersized. That bearing tip can pass through the hole. They probably won't fall out, but it's a potential safety concern we shared with Mikolo. I'd love to see them increase the pin size or remove it entirely in future runs. The 1-inch safety pins aren't magnetized, and there's no real cotter hole, so they can't be locked in. They likely won't walk out, but check on them periodically. Honestly, I'd skip them and just use mag pins here. It's a spot where Mikolo could further pull away from other value brands by offering their own mag pin.
So there's no UHMW plastic on the J-cups, spotters, or low row footplate. That'll wear your finish fast and add a bit of play. We get it, cost savings, but this rack's too good looking to chew up. Grab some UHMW tape off Amazon for a few bucks, or upgrade later.
Here's a quick DIY fix for those loose tolerances on the Mikolo J-cups, as well as actually you do this to all of your attachments that go on the rack that do not have the UHMW, which is pretty much everything. But honestly, this is the cheapest and easiest one you can do. Start by measuring the inside of your J-cups, then cut about 6 strips of UHMW tape to match that size. They don't have to be perfect, just enough to cover the surfaces that make contact with the rack uprights. Once applied, you'll immediately notice a little bit less play and a smoother fit, and if you want to tighten it up even more, you can either use thicker tape or just layer what you already have. And just to be clear, this isn't a slam on Mikolo. We think they got a lot right with this rack, and this is just a small DIY tweak that makes it just a little bit better.
Since it's a 3x3 with 1-inch holes, you've got a ton of aftermarket options.
The landmine doesn't have UHMW, but the barbell holder does have a plastic sleeve. The landmine row feels like the cheapest attachment and will scratch your bar sleeves. It performs fine, but a liner would have been nice. Still, a lot of landmines out there lack bar protection, so this is common. Because this rack uses 12 gauge steel and the Djed system is built into the safety spotters for traditional presses and squats, Mikolo is very smart here. They give you a unique Egyptian themed look and add strength where it matters. The Djed pillar is an ancient Egyptian symbol, representing stability, permanence, and endurance. It's often associated with the god Osiris, depicting his backbone, his resurrection, essentially victory over death. Kind of like what a spotter is supposed to do, victory over death when you fail a lift. There's also other meanings behind it, essentially the 4 pillars holding up the sky. It also represents a fertility pole during festivals. All right, so now let's get into how this is quickly set up. As we had mentioned before, my biggest complaint with this whole system is tolerances of the attachments, and it's no difference here on the spotter. Add the UHMW plastic tape. You might have to layer it up a couple times because there's a lot of looseness and tolerance here. It's going to scratch your rack up, and you just don't want to do that. But you get this on, you set it up like a normal, this is essentially a normal safety spotter right now. This is the Djed System. We pull it down. Actually, you could probably set this in down here first, which is what these pins are for. That just goes in. This comes out. And you got to set it to where the height's correct for your lift. I'm just going to do 135 pounds. It's heavy enough for me to fail on, just to show you guys. We do have the Djed 2.0 in here. This is going to get its own special reviews. We're not going to touch on this too much, but let's get the rep going and I'll show you how this system's supposed to save you from death. So you're going in your normal reps, you come down, and then say you can't get it up anymore, you would just drop it down onto the safety spotters. Then you can crawl out from underneath it, take your weights off, and put it back up. But that's where these Djed pillars come in because it is 12 gauge steel, it's not 11 gauge. These just add a bunch of stability and strength that you're gonna need. So knurling on the Smith bar is medium. It's got good bite, it's not aggressive, but it's also not counterbalanced. So you're lifting real weight, roughly 30 to 40 pounds, depending on how smooth your system ends up being. On incline presses, 20% work best for me, because once you raise to 30 or 35 degrees, the safeties start limiting your range of motion. It's not a deal breaker, but experiment to find your sweet spot. And remember, on any Smith machine, set those safeties right because you can't dump weight off to escape. We did have a noisy bearing on install, but a quick shot of some silicone lube fixed it instantly. These ship in store in all sorts of conditions, so it's normal. There's a little lateral movement, nothing major. For the price, it feels solid, and the Smith bar actually has the best knurling of anything included.
The cables are smooth. I'd like a lower starting weight, but the 10-pound jumps work fine when you add fractional plates. The single arm lat pull down felt great. I just prefer a slight angle myself. And with those mirrored accents and flat black contrast, it feels more premium than its price suggests.
It's a 2-to-1 pulley ratio, which means at 100 pounds, you're getting 50. But by linking both trolleys, you do get a 1-to-1 feel. They're fixed trolleys without articulating arms like our Viper, but Mikolo includes a dual attachment straight bar that bridges the gap for pull downs, rows, presses, and even curls.
While waiting for our Djed 2.0 bench to arrive, we tested our Kepi 6000 with arm isolation pads. And that pairing worked better than expected. It's a lengthened bias movement, pure isolation in the stretched position, where the latest research says the growth happens.
We flipped the bench around and used the Mikolo straight bar for dual stack preacher curls on the Kepi. Felt weird at first since I don't usually curl from dual cables. I definitely felt my imbalances, but it's a sweet setup once you get used to it.
That's what I love. You don't need a room full of machines. Just hook in, adjust the weight, and go.
We actually rigged up a really fun hack for assisted dips and pull-ups using our iron bolt dip belt attached to both cable stacks. It worked way better than expected. Smooth movement and easy to dial in the exact assisted weight without guessing like you have to do with bands.
True story. It's not a dedicated assist machine, but it adds a ton of function without taking up space. And since it's stack loaded, you know exactly how much help you're getting.
The cables can feel awkward depending on where you flip the belt and your arm angle. But I'd use this setup anytime those movements pop up in my program. The big picture, the Anubis 2.0 Ultimate delivers serious capability for its price. Dual 175-pound stacks, a Smith, a functional trainer, and a 3x3 frame. There's just not much being offered at Mikolo's entry-level price for everything you get here. It sits in that rare space where value actually feels like you're gaining features, not giving something up. Because it's 3x3 with 1-inch holes, you can personalize and upgrade freely over time.
And that's real value. You're not locked into budget-only parts. Mix Rogue, Rep, Prime, Bells of Steel, whatever fits your setup.
We looked at Force USA, Harbor, and the Fringe Sport Gain too. Mikolo hangs with them without the $3,000 to $4,000 price tag. Mikolo might not be better, but it's better value for the right person personally. They include a starter pack of attachments, a lap bar, a straight bar, a tricep rope, handles, ankle strap, and a landmine row bar. They're basic but functional, and they save you money up front. Most lifters swap these out for their favorites anyways.
One thing I didn't expect to love about Mikolo is what happens after you buy their equipment. There's a Facebook group called Mikolo Fitness Zone, and it's become a really active little community. Over 1,400 members right now, and growing. It's not the kind of group where people post once and then vanish. It's full of owners sharing their setups, asking questions, and helping each other figure out the little things that don't always make the manual. Maybe someone's talking about a pulley squeak or comparing bench heights for rows. It's a mix of small, useful conversations. It's a place where you can share hacks or find some new ones, or just ask that kind of question that only another owner can answer. It's nice to be able to say, hey, what height are you using for seat curls? And get a reply from someone who actually owns the same rack. It feels friendly. There's no judgment, no one making you feel silly for asking the simple stuff. You've got the first-time gym owners, the couples training together, and people just trying to make the most out of a small space. And that's what I love about it. It feels like the kind of space where creativity really shows up. You'll see people trying new setups, maybe reorganizing their racks with simple hardware store fixes, or even asking if anyone's tried a 3D printing parts or accessories for their setup. It's random in the best way, the kind of everyday mix of questions and ideas that keeps a group feeling alive. You can tell Mikolo's aware of the conversations too, because they're not just taking over and then leaving the group, but every so often you'll see a like or a quick question, and it's just enough to show that they're actually paying attention. And that matters. When you buy from a mostly online brand, you don't always have someone to bounce questions off of. This group fills that gap. It makes you feel like you're part of something, like there's a community of people figuring it out right alongside you. Then there's the movement library on Mikolo's website. We didn't even know it existed at first, but it's actually really helpful. It's a collection of quick exercise clips showing how to do different movements with their racks and cable systems. No talking, no hype, just clear visuals from good angles. If you're new to cable work, this is perfect. You can see exactly how to position things and what attachments fit where, and how to adjust pulley height. And if you're not new, it's great for ideas, a fresh reminder that small changes in setup can hit a muscle in a totally different way. What stands out is how thoughtful it feels. You can tell they wanted to give owners more than just hardware, something that helps you keep learning the equipment. So in the Facebook group and the movement library, Mikolo's quietly building a real support system. Not marketing, not noise, just genuine resources that help you get more from what you already own. And I think that's what makes this part of the experience special. It's not fancy or corporate, it's real. People learning, teaching, and lifting together. And for a company competing in the value space, that's something worth appreciating. What makes this line unique is the mythology woven through it. Anubis for strength, Bastet for balance, and Djed for stability.
Mikolo didn't just borrow Egyptian names, they built a theme around transformation, protection, balance, and endurance.
It gives their equipment a connected feel, almost like a shared universe of training tools.
So when a brand commits to an identity this hard, you feel it when you train, and it makes you curious to see how their future unfolds. After a few weeks with the Anubis 2.0 Ultimate, it's clear this isn't just another value rack. It's Mikolo leveling up, combining engineering, design, and story in one package. It's not perfect. There's no UHMW, some loose fits, undersized pins, but when you stack it against what you get, dual stacks, a Smith 3x3 frame, Djed safety attachments, it's a powerhouse for the money. And there's already an upgrade coming to push each stack to 230 pounds.
Mikolo's listening, refining aesthetics, adding character, and giving buyers confidence that their system will grow with them.
So for the price, we highly recommend it. To be fair, it was provided for review, but this has been our honest take as a couple who've never owned an all-in-one before. If we didn't film in our living room gym, we'd honestly keep it up full time, but we have to make room for the next round of reviews.
If you're thinking about buying, use code PAIRED at checkout to save 5%. It gives us a small commission to keep the channel going strong and the reviews coming.
And if you like this style of story-driven review, hit subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. Tell us if you want the Bastet 2.0 bench next, or how this compares to the GetRx Viper.
And we've got plenty coming. Bastet 2.0, Mikolo bumpers, Kepi 6000, GMWD LE03, the GetRx Viper, a special anchor video, and the EvolPal Brute that just arrived.
Huge thanks to the Mikolo Fitness Zone community and everyone supporting our living room gym project. More myth, more steel, more stories still to come.
We're paired and powered up, and the myth continues.